This video is sponsored by Babbel.
Hi everybody, and welcome back to, well, for me at least, one of the most exciting videos I've ever done. So this is 1 month in 15 minutes, the renovation, the transformation of the Muniment Room, AKA archive room. But we've got to start all the way at the very beginning. And the beginning started actually December 31st, 2022, when I went live for the first time on my American Viscountess channel, talking about our own American heiress, the 9th Countess of Sandwich, Alberta Sturgis. Well, this room was filled with her entire collection. And I mean, every letter pretty much that she received. And I started to go on live week after week in January, in February, but I was going live next door to the dining room next door here at Mapperton because this room here was a wreck. So it hadn't been touched in, we think, well over 70 years. Yet, this is where all of the Sandwich Montague archives are held. However, this room needed a lot of work. There's damage everywhere I look up. I mean, the ceiling is just shocking. And that is not a quick fix. That will take a lot of time. Because of all of the donations from the Alberta Research Project on buymeacoffee.com, we were able to not only achieve the goal, but stretch beyond the goal. And with that, I was able to purchase the fireproof archive storage cabinet. I was also able to purchase an amazing digital scanner, a lot of the archiving supplies, so the acid-free boxes and acid-free paper. And my big purchase was getting him back. So it's a 17th century extraordinary painting of the first Earl of Sandwich. So off I go to the auction house. Here we are. Okay, there he is. Got him back. So exciting. All right, they have packaged it up and he is going to bring it down to me because I kind of had to park a little bit far away. He's going to bring it down to me and put it in my car. I can't believe it. I'm so excited.
All right, we're putting it in. It's so exciting. That is brilliant. First Earl of Sandwich is coming back home.
There we are. Oh, nice.
There is a wonderful brass plaque on top of walnut, which lists those donors' names who donated quite a high amount and really helped with the renovation of this room. So once I was able to purchase all of those bits, which were important to this room and making sure that these archives were safe and sound, but also that it would be a comfortable room to work in, the renovation started. I'm on my way to the Chelsea Flower Show. As many of you know, I travel up and down between Mapperton, where we work and live, and also London because I do have a job here commentating for the royal family. They keep me very busy. But today I'm dressed up and ready to go. But when I'm traveling between London and Mapperton, whether that's on a bus, on a train, or even as a passenger in a car, I'm always on my phone doing my Italian lessons through Babbel. Babbel is one of the best language learning apps in the entire world. And you know what? I've been using Babbel now for over 2 years. Forse avrei dovuto seguire la mia vocazione.
Forse avrei dovuto seguire la mia vocazione.
And my Italian has massively improved. It's probably one of the best things I've done in the past few years to really help build my confidence, but also to do something new. I mean, who doesn't love to travel to a foreign country? So if you've got those big plans to travel abroad this summer, do check out Babbel and start learning a new language today. What's so amazing about Babbel is that there are podcasts, there are lessons, there are real life language teachers as well. And I'm now at a B2 level. I mean, it's been incredible. So I've set up a special discount just for you in the description down below to get 60% off of your Babbel subscription today and start learning a new language. I promise you, it's one of the best things I have ever done. So ci vediamo a presto perché adesso io voglio andare vedere I fiori. Ciao! There was a pretty great discovery, and that was in a yellow Jiffy envelope. And can you believe it? As I pull it out, I discover Alberta's 120-year-old recipe book. Found this sort of padded envelope, and it says recipe book, Lady Hinchingbrook's family recipe book. Now, hear me out on this, it's actually Alberta's. And the reason I know that is because this letter was written to my father-in-law in 1977. He let somebody borrow a Hinchingbrook recipe book. It's incredible. So I'm so happy that I was able to sort of take this room apart before the renovation began. Once everything was stripped and it was pretty much bare, apart from the bookcases, we knew pretty much where we wanted to reorganize the bookcases. And that meant removing them, of course, from the walls themselves because we needed to paint behind them. And yet another discovery occurred.
Come around.
So that's been moved. I'm super happy with that.
Yeah,
then they can paint that whole wall. And then we'll
keep going. You've got to come all the way around here.
Yeah.
All the way around here.
Okay.
Through here.
Oh my gosh.
What we have discovered is that there is a window.
I'm coming in here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay.
There's a window, and it was behind this bookcase, which hasn't been moved for 80 years, perhaps.
This was the original exterior window of the house before the bit that I'm sitting in right now was built in the late 19th century. And this window had been covered up for decades. Darren, our stonemason, you've seen him many times, I think, here on Mapperton Live, was able to repair the window because it had been covered for so long, it needed to be repaired. While I had Darren in here, I had him look at the fireplace, and that hadn't been cleaned for probably the same amount of time that that window was covered. And he and I were able to clean this. It looks like a brand new fireplace to me, that is for sure. So we had to do a little bit of slicing and dicing of the bookcase in order to keep the carvings. Once the bookcases were finished, we ran into yet another problem.
Discovered yesterday afternoon was the actual ceiling is leaking, and we were finding water spots where we've had some rain finally.
Yep.
Dripping off the ceiling.
I went up onto the lead roof with Darren and with Raymond, and we found the culprit. In fact, we found several cracks in the lead roof.
And because the roof runs this way and that way, we think that's the way that the water's heading across underneath the panels. And we've got a small hole here. And obviously we've got a very, very small crack there.
Yep.
So I think that's where, in the area downstairs, is where the water ingress is up here.
That's right. So once we were able to, again, repair that leak, we then started back again with the zinzering. And that smell, wowzer. So there were a lot of masks being worn, a lot of blisters on the fingers from the sanding. Speaking of sanding, I needed to sand the timber floors. So we're gonna not sand it all the way back, everybody, because the color that we're keeping the timber anyway is about the same color, but we just want to clean it up. It probably hasn't been cleaned for...
No, quite a while.
And then the fun began. And that is, of course, painting. It's always the prep that's the hardest. It's the painting, and you get to see the results that is the most fun. Malcolm and I decided on a scheme of greens and crimson red to paint the bookcases and the walls and the woodwork and the doors. Took me 5 full days. And I'm not talking a 9-to-5 job here. I'm talking from 7 a.m. till most nights, midnight. By the time we leave tonight, we would have done 2 coats in the mean room. Don't you think so, Barry?
Yeah, I should think so.
Well, we should think so. We hope so. Nearly there-ish, kind of, she says. Haha, not really, crazy. After the walls were finished, then I was able to stain the floors. Once stained, I was able to wax the floors. We then positioned everything in place, and I started to bring all of the archives back in. Again, it gets even more fun because we get to furnish the room. And this is where we are today. Here is, everybody, the complete transformation and renovation of the Muniment room. Thanks to all of you who have watched the Alberta lives, because all of that video ad revenue went towards the Muniment Room Fund, and for those of you who donated to the Alberta Research Project. I got my 19th century wingback chair, this wonderful, fantastic cushion. I found 2 amazing Persian carpets, again, within the same color scheme. The Chippendale, and this is an early Chippendale desk we actually had in the house, and so now it's being used properly as a desk. 2 brass lamps. Again, everything in this room has been sourced from auction houses and from antiques, antique markets, antique stores. Right behind me, a beautiful, and this is really one of my favorite finds, beautiful early 20th century, I think it's around 1930, swing arm brass lamp from Atkins Auctions. I was able to find my desk chair, a Queen Anne chair, and I've had that reupholstered in a lovely dark green velvet. As well as a carver chair that I found reupholstered in a dark green velvet. Another carver chair reupholstered in a crimson velvet. I found some brass fire dogs. I know you're all waiting for the crewel embroidered curtains, and that to me was, when we were able to raise enough funds for that, I was just thrilled to bits. These curtains are spectacular. They are exquisite. I mean, absolutely beautiful. And then lastly, I really wanted to make sure that Alberta was seen in this room. So I have the picture of Alberta on her wedding day framed on my desk. And so all of these prints and pictures that you see hanging on the wall were quite dear to Alberta's heart, and I thought that they needed to have a special place and space here in the Muniment room. So again, I just want to say thank you all so much for supporting me over the past 6 months nearly on this huge project. From beginning to end, we were able to renovate this in a month. We did it just in time for my father-in-law's 80th birthday party, and I think it looks fantastic. I'm so excited. Thanks, everybody. Do comment down below, and be sure to check out the American Heiress Summer Supper Club. It's live and online with me and a Dorset chef here. We will be cooking several of Alberta's recipes with you as well. Think of it as a cook-along here in the Tudor kitchen, and Luke will be the moderator for the evening. Details down below. Thanks, everybody. Click the link in the description for 60% off your Babbel subscription.